Right. So we are discussing rate, right? In the previous session, we looked at ratios, and ratios are usually used to compare items that have the same unit, right? Liters or whatever it is, right? Petrol price or whatever, right? Um, Quantity and stuff like that, right? So a rate is used to compare quantities with different units, right? So that if you think of like a car, right, the speed at which a car is going is usually said to be kilometers per hour. So kilometers is 1 unit, and hours is another unit, right? So this is rate, right? This is how rate works. It's two different things, but anyways, let's jump into some examples so you understand better, right? Right. So a car uses 50, so a car uses 57 liters of petrol in order to travel 600 kilometers. Express the petrol consumption of the car as a rate of liters per kilometer. Give your answer correct is 3 decimal places. Right? Uh, Generally, with these questions, you are told basically how to do it by the question itself. All right? So let's work through this now. Look at petrol consumption, right? All right. To express the consumption of the car as a rate of liters per kilometer, right? The word per, you tell you that you are dividing, right? So it can be liters over kilometers, right? Now, if we have here 57 liters and 5 kilometers, all we're doing is saying 57 liters over 600 kilometers. Notice how this is liters per kilometer, right? Even if you see here, it's liters over kilometer. Liters over kilometer, that's all it is, right? So the question tells you at times how you should solve the problem, right? And the question or the answer here will be 0.095 liters per kilometer, right? We good? Right. So part 2 of the question is, right? So in most cases, petrol consumption is provided. Just trying. In most cases, petrol consumption is provided in a rate of liters per 100 kilometers. What is the petrol consumption of the above car in liters per 100 kilometers? Notice per, I didn't show that, liters per 100 kilometers, right? Now, I want you to come back here, right? Here we have 57 liters per 600 kilometers, right? What we want, what we're looking for now is 57 liters over how many hundreds of kilometers? I don't know how to explain properly. Okay, so this car used 57 liters, right, to go 600 kilometers. Basically, it's asking how many liters we used for every 100 kilometers, right? Right. So, remember, it's liters per 100 kilometers, right? Liters, 57 liters, right? over the per, right? Now, there are six hundreds of kilometers, right? There are 600s of kilometers. Get me? This car used 57 liters, right? In 600 kilometers, right? It used 57 liters in 600s of kilometers, right? This allows for us to have our answer in 100 kilometers. So this 100 kilometers is sailors. This is this, right? And your answer becomes 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers, or 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers. This will take a while to grasp, but once you get it, shouldn't be that difficult. Okay, let's look at another example. Right? I'll use another paper. A plumber charges a rate of 200 per hour. He is also on standby for emergencies after hours, right? Should he have to work outside of normal working hours, his overtime rate is 2.5 times higher than his normal rate. In 1 week, he works 35 hours of normal hours and 14 hours overtime. How much did he earn that week, right? So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to determine what is his overtime rate, right? So it says here his overtime rate is 2.5 times higher than his normal rate, right? So the overtime rate is going to be 2.5 times higher than his normal rate, which is 200, right? Power, right? This gives us 500 per hour, right? Right, so his overtime rate is 500 per hour, right? Now, he worked how many hours? 35 hours of normal time, right? So, amount in normal working hours is his 200 rate per hour. Now, and how many hours to work? 35 hours per hour. 35 hours, right? Meaning he made 7,000. Yeah, he earned 7,000, right? The amount he earned in overtime is he worked 14 hours, right? So his rate for overtime is 500 per hour, and he worked how many hours? 14 hours, right? So he times it 2, and he earned from here 7,000 again, right? So the total he earned is simply you adding these two values, right? So you earned 14,000 in total, right? Yeah. let's do one more. Or cover that. Yeah. Right. The author needs to purchase 10 kilograms of sugar and has two options. She can either buy one 10 kg bag for $96.99 or four 2.5 kg bags for $22.90. Which bag should she choose? Right? Here, what we do is we simply determine how much it will cost for the one bag and how much it will cost to buy the 4 eggs. And whichever is cheaper, and go for next. Like we are trying to see how much it will cost per kilogram. Right? How much will cost per kilogram? Yeah. So there's. So in order to determine which bag is the cheapest, you have to calculate the cost per kilogram in each case, right? And this is how we do it, right? It's cost per kilogram, right? Listen to the words I'm using. Cost per kilogram or rands per kilogram, right? So for 10 kg, right, it was 96.99 rands over 10 kilogram, right? This gives us, it's 9 rand 70 per kilogram, right? Now, if you're looking at the 2.5 kg, right? This was 22 rand 90 per 2.5 kilogram, right? This gives us 9 rand 16 per kilogram. Okay. So therefore, this is cheaper, right? It's cheaper. So therefore, right? This is how you do it. The other way, which is I think more intuitive, would simply be like, okay, fine. We have this bag of 10 kg. This 10 kg bag is 9.96.99, right? And if we were to buy 4 2.5 kg bags, it'd be 4 times 22.90, which is equal to 91.60, and this is cheaper than that, right? And therefore, you purchase 4 2.5 kg and sugar, right? Either method works. Yeah, choose what you would like. Zahra travels from Johannesburg to Bloemfontein. She travels for 2 hours at an average speed. So 2 hours at an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour, right? Then travels for 1.5 hours at an average speed of 120 kilometers per hour, and then arrives in Bloemfontein. How far is Johannesburg from Bloemfontein? A. And B, what was Zahra's average speed for her entire journey? Right? So, to help with this, there is a triangle that we use in math. This triangle helps us with equations to number equations, right? So distance is speed times time, speed is distance over time, and time is distance over speed. Right? Right down here. Right. All right. So for A, the distance we're going to get the distance between Joburg and Bloemfontein. Zaha traveled at two different speeds for two different times. She traveled for 2 hours at 100 kilometers per hour and for 1.5 hours at 120 kilometers per hour, right? So we can get the distance, for two different things, right? So the total distance is the distance she traveled at while she was at 100 kilometers per hour, and the distance she traveled while she was at 120 kilometers per hour, right? So distance is speed times time, right? So she traveled for 2 hours at 100 kilometers per hour, right? So it's 100 kilometers per hour times 2 hours plus traveled at 120 kilometers per hour times 1.5 hours. I'm sorry if I'm out of space, right? So for here she traveled 200 kilometers from this, right? Plus what she traveled here would be 180. All right, I'm going to simply add these, and it's 380 kilometers, right? Now B, since we have the total distance, the total distance, right? Now for B, we want what is the average speed, right? Remember, speed is distance over time, right? For the entire journey, right? So the average speed gonna be the total distance over the total time, right? Total distance over total time. We know from here that the total distance was 380 kilometers, right? And total time was 2 hours plus 1.5 hours, right? So it's 3 hours plus 1.5 hours, which is 380 kilometers over 3.5 hours. And this gives us 108.57 kilometers per hour as average speed. So our average speed is this. Okay, so the number is total distance over total time. Okay, great. We'll do one last example. Okay. Joseph is doing renovations to his house, and he needs to have his building rubble removed. He contacts two companies for quotes. Company A uses a 6-ton truck. This means it can take out 6 tons per trip, right? And company B uses an 8-ton truck. Company A charges 654 per trip, and company B charges 850 per trip, right? A, which company is the cheapest? And B, if Joseph has 12 tons of rubble to remove, which company should he use, right? Now for A, what we're going to do is, remember, company A has a 6-ton truck, company B has an 8-ton truck, right? So now, our thought should be, okay, how much is each company charging per ton right? What is the cost per time? Okay, cost per time, right? So company A, remember, listen to my language, cost per time, right? If you watch the previous lectures, you understand why I say you listen to my language. Okay, so company A, right? They charging how much? 654 for 6 tons, right? This is approximately 109 per time. Company B is charging 850 for 8 tons, and this is 106.25 per ton. So technically, company B is cheaper, even though they're charging more, they're cheaper, right? So therefore, you should always write a final statement to answer a question, right? Because you know which company is the cheapest. Company B is cheaper, right? Okay. B says if Joseph has 12 tons of rubble to remove, which company should he use, right? Now think about this. 12 tons, right, means that each company will have to make 2 trips either way, right? The 6-ton truck wouldn't have to make 2 trips, and the 8-ton truck will have to make 2 trips, right? So either way, they'll be making 2 trips, right? So the 2 trips will have to be made, right? Now, so company A for 2 trips will be 2 times 654, right? From there, it'll cost 1,308, right? And company B for 2 trips is 2 times 850 per trip from here, right? It'll cost 1,700. So obviously, company A is cheaper, right? So which company should Joseph use? Joseph should use company A. Okay, so that's it for rate. Yeah, and for rate. Sideways. Okay.